slam into ketos so hard that your lips bleed. All right, I take it back. He's not that boring. That's not a boring thing.
That's your kind of interesting, apparently.
It is. Hi.
Hello, I'm Mitch.
I'm Ashley.
And this is Membry Ash.
And we are watching Love is Blind. Absolute dumpster fire of a season.
That's what happens. All these shows are getting worse.
Yeah.
And more like unhealthy and like borderline unsafe for contestants.
Yeah. Just awful.
Yeah.
So we're coming off of the heels of episode 6, which was probably the worst, most frustrating episode thus far in this season.
Oh, in this season, and it competes with a lot of seasons at this point.
Yeah, really, really bad.
We watched it. It was hard to watch, and we talked so much because of how hard it was to watch and how much there was to process. And what you're getting from us is like an instant reaction. Or at the end of the episode, it's literally like seconds after we turn off the clip. Then I was up until late last night trying to go to sleep, just reading all the comments and like mentally processing my own emotions over it, and then hearing people's like stories and stuff, and like a lot of stuff came up with that episode.
It's a lot. I mean, so much so, and like we talked about this, but we're probably going to film something where we talk through some of the comments because people have some really great perspectives that like things we just didn't pick up on, experiences that we just haven't had that add, I think, a lot of really helpful context to understanding how complicated that episode was.
Yeah.
And how complicated some of the things that they're dealing with are.
So by the time this has come out, I've probably put some comments on some of your comments asking if we can use your name, because I want to attribute to you if you want us to, and if not, then I won't. So I just want to get permission to use some of your comments. But we want to honestly, I would like that to be part of a model we do in general. If people are commenting and they've got stuff they want to say, either if it's like a thing we haven't thought, or even if it's contradictory to what we've thought, I want it to be. It'd be cool to have sort of a community perspective where we're like, this is your thoughts. And I was also thinking too, some of this stuff is like heavy topics.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the video would be monetizable, but I don't think that matters, because like I'd rather just like share what people are thinking and feeling about that. You know what I mean? So like there's some heavy topics in the comments too. It's like, there's gonna be some trigger warnings and stuff here. I mean, obviously the whole show's a trigger warning, but I think it's more important to like share people's stuff, and I think that'd be really cool if y'all are like interested in that.
Yeah. I think it's like you and I were talking to, we're two people that like come at things with our own experiences just like everyone else does, and there are going to be like areas that we just are not understanding the same way, and hearing other people and what they have to say is huge in terms of like gaining that understanding. And I think it's probably helpful for everyone for like perspective for some of the things that people are saying in the comments, because it's really great, and I think we're both really grateful that people are willing to share that and also willing to disagree. I mean, we're sitting here, in our house telling you what we think, but that doesn't mean that like our opinion is the only opinion, or our opinion is fact,
Yeah, we talked about it. It's not like this isn't like a download of information. We're not telling you stuff. We're just sharing our moment together.
Yeah. I think the other cool thing about it is like there have been other times in my life, and watching that episode is one of them, where you feel deeply uncomfortable, but you don't have a way to verbalize what you're seeing, or you can't necessarily, like, I can't put the pieces together to say why I'm so uncomfortable. It's unclear to me.
Yeah.
And looking to other people who are able to put that into words is really, really helpful in saying, I saw this thing or I experienced this thing. Why does this not feel good to me? Because I just don't know. Like, I know something's not right.
You see it happen too. We're like, what's going on here? Like, this is uncomfortable. Like we're feeling it, and it's like we don't fully know why yet.
Yeah.
And even at the end when we come up with an idea, it's not always exactly what it was.
It's not. So it's really helpful having people kind of like reach out and say, like, this is my perception of what was messed up about what just happened.
Yeah.
Or on the alternative, this is my perception of like what wasn't so bad in this situation, or maybe like something that, like makes this more understandable. So I'm not really excited to watch episode 7, to be honest, because episode 6 was so heavy and it was really tough to get through. It brings up so many questions and so many like different topics that I'm not really ready for episode 7.
I'm hoping, I think it'll still be fun because it's Love is Blind, but it's also going to be frustrating because it's Love is Blind, you know?
And they're going to be wrapping some of this stuff up.
Yeah.
And what I'm not ready to see is Laura continuing to not take accountability for how absolutely nasty she behaved in episode 6 and what she did to Jeremy, who's her partner, and what she did to AD
And Clay. And Johnny. Like, why are you coming after the man bun?
That's true, but Johnny doesn't know. Johnny is like blissfully ignorant of like her making fun of him.
They're not even on the show. Johnny and Amy are just extras.
In the scheme of everything that happened, that's like stupid petty drama.
It was nothing, but it was another thing indicating who she is.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I interrupted.
And it's rough to watch.
Yeah, it is.
I think. It's pretty terrible, actually.
Yeah. Shall we?
I guess so. Let's do it.
That's what we're here for.
Oh my God.
I just kept finding comfort in you.
We are a partnership.
Yeah.
Comfort in Clay, though? Like, you know what I mean?
There's a little love triangle.
You talking about our love triangle?
People keep on trying to ship Jessica and Trevor, which I don't see.
Jessica and Trevor?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't see
think those are mistypes either. I think it's like people being like, they should get together. And I'm like,
no.
Bean dip? Not the bean dip.
No, I'm looking back at that and I'm like, was Brittany like there for anybody? And she says like, not the bean dip. Like she's kind of maybe like, this is immature, frustrating.
Yeah.
So I was a little uncomfortable with like Brittany's closeness to Laura with that, but that made me like her a little bit more.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you know that I am very sorry and...
Oh, he's apologizing.
Well, this is the positive beginning of the episode they always give you.
I know they want us to hate...
The emotional
I know
arc.
y'all want us to hate Jimmy more, but I don't know.
I don't think this works, and I don't like him.
I believe he's going to be bad again. But I just don't think that's what's happening right now. I think he's trying to be good right now.
You gotta work with me.
I love you.
It's that like when do you give people chance and when do you say this person's irredeemable?
Matt is irredeemable.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think
Laura's getting there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
honestly,
I think she's going to be unless I see something change.
I don't know. He's treating her really well. I also feel that something is off though. Like I don't trust him.
Oh, yeah,
still,
absolutely.
And the way that he started off the honeymoons was rough.
And Jimmy and Chelsea, they looked really sweet together.
Yeah.
They really did.
He said it's been like literally almost perfect.
That's why we've known people that are like, everything's perfect, everything's perfect, everything's perfect. This is exactly why I never believe it, because why do you need to tell everybody if everything's so perfect?
I agree.
You shouldn't have to be projecting that. People that project that stuff the loudest, I think, often have some of the largest insecurities.
I would hope that it's coming from good, pure intent of like, but yeah, like I just hope people are being like.
I think she was.
I think she seemed
I didn't
to have
get ill intent either.
Decent understanding there of the context. She's hoping that that's what happened, and I believe that's what happened.
That was great, actually.
Her saying that, was like, yeah.
The questions that AD was asking me it gave me very much like true concern.
I think so too.
Yeah, it was intense. But intense in like a good way where they need to be having this conversation. I think they're both handling it really well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, are y'all good? Like, that's what you said. You were like, are y'all good?
I like a y'all.
I've
been getting a lot of y'alls in the comments too, and like I like a y'all.
It works so much better than it's not gendered.
Yeah.
It encompasses everyone.
Delineates between an individual and a group.
I love red light kisses, y'all.
Do you know what's funny is Clay is clearly the most muscular person left, but if Trevor would have been there, he would look like tiny.
Yeah. But Trevor just looks huge too. Like Clay's like a normal sized person who's very fit.
Yeah,
Trevor's
and Trevor is
like
massive.
oversized.
Yeah.
You know?
I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what had happened. He just had no interest in talking and slept on the sofa, and I slept in the bed. And
Jeremy doesn't even want to sleep with her. I wouldn't want to sleep in a bed next to her after what she did either.
last night was triggering for me because
And that's
It's triggering for her.
oh my god.
Okay.
That's so
Laura.
garbage.
Jeez.
She harms everybody around her and then makes herself the victim.
I ended up being like embarrassed by my significant other.
She's putting on him. She was embarrassed of him.
Oh, I know. So like I never in a million years would have thought that you would have repeated.
Please don't tell people what I'm saying. is what she's saying.
I don't know the context of their conversation,
I
but
agree.
if you don't want someone to say something to other people, you need to be very clear that that's your intention with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that, and I still did it, and it was wrong, and all I can do is just fix it.
And he apologized to her. I don't know. Am I missing some context? Like, I don't understand.
In the pods, I like communicated, but
And this is after days of saying he dresses like a child and he's an idiot.
are you guys getting married? I think maybe yesterday I would have said 100%, and today I
Okay, well, yeah, because you had a fight. Like,
Right. You guys had a fight.
It is a little dramatic then.
Like, not just looks-wise.
Okay, but that's not enough.
No, like, not just looks-wise, but, like, the thing...
I don't know. I don't
What?
get this.
What's
I don't
happening?
get this.
Why is
Like,
he not holding her accountable for that?
He's being a total simp right now.
Why would I let that go away over my dumbass ego last
I didn't feel like it was ego. I felt like it was legitimately like a messed up thing that she did to someone else and then that she told him about.
Yep.
I don't understand.
I don't know. This is weird to me. The people around him were like, you didn't do anything
He
wrong.
shouldn't have brought it up. He should have known
Yeah.
it was inappropriate and not brought it up.
Yeah.
In my opinion. He
I
also
hear you.
probably should have said
I
to
hear
her,
you.
I don't really think that's funny. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't feel funny to me.
That's
like
that's
I wish
true,
that
too.
had happened.
But to say that it's his fault that everything happened is kind of odd.
Yeah, because he didn't read her right and
And
didn't
that's
understand.
coming from someone who blew up the Jessica situation by sharing other people's crap.
Yeah.
So she has no leg to stand on. She
don't
has
know.
no understanding of boundaries and information.
Thank you. I feel like my love for you grows every day, and that encompasses the mental, the emotional, and the physical. And I really do feel that physical spark.
They're so cute.
Aren't they?
It's annoying, honestly. How
I
cute they are.
know. it is kind of annoying, isn't it?
I love your eyes, especially in the sun.
Thank you. I do like your hair.
You do? Thank you.
It looks natural. Like it looks like that's like.
Oh, and he's telling her he likes her natural curls, which is very sweet and supportive. Is there tension between them now?
I feel so happy.
Oh no. Okay.
No, like, is this a peaceful moment? Is this contemplative?
I don't know. It feels
It feels a little weird.
feels a little weird.
It's lit. It's an amazing experience.
Well, those are caged dolphins,
I don't like
which
that.
makes me really uncomfortable. No.
You gotta let the dolphins be wild.
No, I absolutely agree with that. Like,
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Don't cage dolphins.
That makes me kind of mad, honestly.
Kisses on the nose.
Yeah, I did it. I did the whole. I got a picture.
Okay, they're talking a bit more, and
I think it was fine. I
maybe
think it was editing.
production.
It was
I think
weird
it was
editing.
I am very, like, you see how I'm, like, always, do you appreciate, like, do you like that?
I really appreciate her
Yep.
checking in like that.
Consent, super important.
She's coming off really well, honestly.
You don't think
feel
I'm
like-
overwhelmed?
No.
Overwhelmed?
No. Like, sometimes I'm like, you can touch me more.
And that's nice because she's inviting it as well.
Yeah.
So she asks for consent, and then she's like, if you'd like to. He feels a little stiff, though.
He does. What's going on?
It's like that, reminds me of that Keanu Reeves picture where he's like not touching anybody, but he
Yeah.
has his arms out.
Yeah, yeah.
And like this guy's giving me that vibe a little bit. Like he's
Yeah.
super polite, doesn't want to like offend anybody.
Just me personally. I would never be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Those are really important conversations to have. Because, like, I'm not a big, like, physical touch person. Like, in the sense that if I just met someone,
Oh, you'd hate that.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be touched all the time.
And you was there when they was winning too.
2 Super Bowl.
You was there with all the big dogs.
That's cool.
Gronk. He's over here like
Gronk.
whatever. Gronk. I thought I read
That's how
Gronk.
we can tell that you don't know anything
I thought that
about
was off.
football.
I thought that was off.
Gonk.
Gronk.
Thank you. Gracias.
Oh, he got soup.
Gracias.
It's a weird choice for like a hot environment, you know?
You've done
to get
that.
I have
You
done
got
that, and then
we
I
were
got
at Key West.
then
And
I
you
got
got
heat
bit,
sick.
and then you got heat sick because you weren't ready for that. And then I had to pick you up later because you couldn't walk back to the hotel.
Soup is first priority.
What is that?
That looks good as
Is
hell.
that plantains? I think they're trying to make it seem like Clay doesn't have table manners. Like, did you see her
Yeah,
eyes when he
yeah.
starts like drinking the soup and like slurping it up? She's like, oh no, oh no, Clay, don't do that.
The way you eat though is very cultural.
Glad you're loving it.
I'm glad you love
And
it.
also, there's cultural and then class elements to like eating food. I try
Yeah,
not to judge
it's like-
people too harshly unless it's like really disruptive.
In the US, like slurping is like a big no-no, but then like I guess if you're eating noodles in some Asian cultures, it's actually you want to do that.
You if you're not doing that, it's not good enough or something, you know?
Oh, he's like, that's great.
like
He's
trying to take
bussing
care
their
of the-
table. That's nice.
She's not there though, right?
I don't know what's going on. She's upset about the busing. I think that's like that's nice to do for your server.
But she is off put by it.
Is he upset? Are they upset? What is going on with the editing of this episode?
Why are they making us uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable pauses. Oh, is he upset because she called him out on how he ate?
I don't know. I really don't want to let you down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Oh no.
He's a very sensitive guy. He's seemingly pretty insecure.
Because I do. Like, I really want to be here for you. I want this to work. It's just that it is on the back of my mind of the marriage thing, and it's just.
Yeah, he's worried about marriage.
Yeah, all right. He's not ready to settle down. He went on a marriage show. Did they talk about a split family before this, right? And we were kind of talking through a little bit about that, but it's like he's thinking about marriage, and you see bad examples or whatever, and it gets a little weird.
It's tough too because you can think you're ready and go on the show, and maybe that's what happened for him, and then you can be in that situation and be like, wow, I don't actually know if I'm ready for this. She seems really great.
Yeah.
He's obviously very impressed by her, like her career accomplishments and
We
things like
talked
that.
about. I actually like that he's dropped the suave him because we talked about that
Yeah.
one episode where it seemed like he was almost like amped up in that situation.
Yeah.
He seemed a little dishonest, but for the same reason, like he feels like maybe he doesn't deserve her or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like there's like I know that he might be a bit of
Yeah.
a douche too, but like
You can tell he has insecurity
I think there's
issues.
some
And
stuff
he
there.
actually, I mean, he told her that when they were in the pods too, that he puts
Yeah.
up a front because he has
Yeah.
insecurity issues.
he's straight up with that.
And he said too, he's had situations where the person that he wanted and he was all in
You're
with
right.
decided they didn't want him, and he is terrified of that happening.
I
again.
wonder now. I'm like,
He's OCD, just like me.
again.
These people.
I folded my towels and blankets is not OCD.
No, you're neat. That's neatness.
That's like basic. And I'm not saying like you have to do it if your life is complicated, you got depression, sometimes it doesn't get folded, but
It's
like
also just like it's not.
it's not disordered. OCD is a disorder.
Yeah, it means
It's
it
in the name.
impacts your life negatively.
Yeah.
And I know it
Like
shows up
superstitious type of-
differently for everyone,
Yeah.
but like I really wish that people would stop saying that they have things that they clearly don't have.
Yeah. But I'll continue to call random people on the internet narcissists. I'm kidding.
That's a tough one, yeah.
Well, I mean, Matt, that's
It's a
a
tough
lot
one.
of people agree he's like clinical. Not that
I
we
don't
can
know.
diagnose
We
him,
don't.
but-
We don't have
well,
the like. Can't we just say we don't like his behavior?
We could just call
you know?
him. We could just call him.
It's creepy.
Patrick Bateman. You know.
Right. Like
Yeah.
we don't have to try and diagnose him with something to be like his behavior is not
Yeah.
not correct.
You don't need to like.
Scared me.
Get me out of this.
With all that like food and stuff around.
I know it's a weird choice. I like
you
water
don't get your
guns,
nachos
though.
wet. You know.
I would like a water gun date. That's
yeah,
fun.
but not next to the nachos.
That's true. Separate nachos.
tortillas. I
But
don't know if
still
they're-
nachos and water guns, just
Yeah,
in
yeah.
two separate parts
Yeah,
of the day.
you need to like cordon it off. There's like a rope down the middle.
Well, AD is obviously not too upset with Laura because she is
Hanging around her.
hanging around her,
I
right?
know, but that doesn't like. But that goes back to like a lot of people put up with bad friends.
Can we talk about how I also own that shirt that Laura has? She shops at American Eagle is what's happening. That is a shirt from American
I
Eagle.
didn't see, but yeah, okay. All right.
I own that too.
I know you know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah, I do.
that helped Chelsea and I.
I'm glad that you talking about my ass helped you.
You know what she does too? She calls it out a little bit. She's like, I'm glad that you objectifying me helped you out.
Yeah.
You know, but she
Yeah.
laughs about it, but she calls it out.
Yeah.
Cold water dripping on my balls is interesting.
Sorry.
You know that shirt.
Yeah. You have that shirt. It's the painter shirt, American Eagle.
It is. It's American Eagle. They have good oversized, like, comfy
Yeah,
stuff.
that's key.
Yeah.
Oversized comfy.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel matching multiple parts of your wardrobe with Laura? How does that make you feel?
I don't love it. Also,
Our problem with her isn't her style.
she's been styling the stuff better than me too, which
Yeah.
also I don't love.
Okay.
But I'm not really like a stylish person.
Yeah, but you're not
so-
bean dipping people, so
That's true.
You take
That
a win
is
on
true.
that one.
We could have like a little Amy or a little John Jr. like something like that.
I like how when all the ladies are talking and all the guys are talking, Johnny and Amy are just not there. I think like the producers forced these two to talk right here, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, all right, they're like, go talk to him.
Right, because he's interacting with no one else on the show.
I was so upset with that.
Yeah. But I'm okay.
Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there because I was like sick feeling.
How do we feel about the Jeremy? Like, do you have any qualms about Jeremy saying that and then how that impacted?
I don't love when people make apologies about themselves, and I do feel like he did that.
To her or to
her,
Laura?
because
Okay.
he came up and he said, I apologize. And then he said, because I felt really sick about it. And I just feel
Oh,
like that
like,
kind of sucks.
I'm sorry how I feel instead of I'm sorry that you may
Yeah.
have been impacted by the fallout of my
Well,
actions.
no, I think he was more like, I'm sorry, and I feel so sick about it. I.
Oh,
And I feel like
yeah,
instead
I
he
hear
could
you.
have like asked her, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Instead
like
of just assuming
I'm,
and turning
you
it
know,
inward, it could have been more of a check-in.
Yeah. He was interrupting her to tell her how like
Yeah.
upset he was about it, and I just feel like that kind of sucks.
I mean,
but
a dude interrupting people.
yeah,
Never happens on this channel.
I interrupt you all the time too. We just talk over each other.
I know.
But I do like that he apologized.
Yeah.
And I love her.
He communicates so well. God.
It just sucks that you have to have two separate people coming up and apologizing to AD the next
Right?
time they see her. Is pretty
It's weird.
pretty garbage.
It is.
Honestly, that sucks.
Yeah.
You scared the shit out of me. Oh, that was cute. That was cute.
So how do they end up in a place where because I thought it was going to
Wearing
be
that
over
same outfit.
the bean dip scenario. I thought truly that's what it was going to be, but obviously not.
You know what it is? Here's what I think. Everybody on this show is fake. They're all here for fame, and they're pretending to be in relationships because they know that's the shtick.
And I was like, cool, if things ever hit the fan, how are we going to handle that with each other?
Exactly.
And with Laura, she and I were just like, this is how.
Yeah, Laura's going to yell at you.
Laura's
And
gonna
tell you
you
it's
did
all
it
your
wrong.
fault, take no accountability, and then
Yeah.
you'll have to apologize to her. That's how Laura's going to
And
handle
then
it.
she's gonna say you dress like a child and you're an idiot.
Right.
And then you'll be great.
I do want to meet Sarah because the night we broke up, she asked me, she's like, is there something I did or could have done differently? It came down to just a fun thing.
Yeah.
And I want her to know that just
Oh, the cut was wrong.
Of course it was.
He just wants her to be able to answer the question. I still think it's kind of, I don't think he's realizing like the level of inappropriate that it could be him like
Yeah.
being friends with her.
It's basically talking to your ex.
It is.
I can't even say we had ups and downs. We had one down
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of ups. And
One down? For him. It was
yeah.
just the one fight.
And
she's not really being communicative with him about whether she even was affected by the way he approached her when they first got to the Dominican Republic. Because even to the camera, she was saying,
Yeah.
she's like, I'm so happy. And then she's sobbing and she doesn't look happy.
5? Those things were.
I was smacking them. I was eating them so fast and so hard I bit the shit out of my lip.
Slamming taquitos so hard that your lips bleed. All right, I take it back. He's not that boring. That's
Yeah.
not a boring thing.
That's your kind of interesting, apparently.
You look so good in this lighting.
They're honestly, this is looking pretty good. We know from the
We know it's
future
gonna melt
clips,
down.
it's not going to be good.
But right now,
like,
that's good. They communicated well right there.
Yeah.
Let's give them that
And he is being very sweet to her.
right now.
And I understand that we've seen awfulness from him, and I don't expect this to continue, but I have to go off of his actions now.
I still want to hear them out.
If I don't get my dad's blessing, I don't know if I can move forward.
That's intense. Hopefully her dad, once he meets Johnny, is
Johnny's
like, oh,
great.
it's okay.
She talked about her dad having that vision of her having like blondish brown haired
She
babies.
just needs to remind her dad about that.
And how awesome Johnny is.
Yeah,
and
he's
Johnny will win him
great.
over. I'm not worried. They're trying to give us anything to be worried about.
I
It's
know.
not working.
And they're having to put like the most worrisome music over
I know,
top
right? Like-
in order to even have it feel like there might be a problem.
They could have horror movie music in the background, and I still wouldn't be worried.
I know.
Getting some dirty underwear. Should I wash everything?
Yes.
What do you think about these?
You just threw dirty underwear on her face.
No,
Seems a
don't do
little
that to me.
disrespectful.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
immediate breakup.
That's
like, get
rude.
out.
That's rude, honestly.
So gross.
This is giving me like visions of the future.
It is.
With kids.
She wants to have kids like right away, and
She's like, I'm not on birth control.
right,
Can my dad say no if I'm already pregnant?
right, for real. Her dad would have to approve.
And go to sleep with each other and like snuggle in bed and like watch movies.
I really thought their relationship was gonna break down more than this.
I know. Well, they fed it to us. We ate it up with a spoon, man.
Dang it.
You can't trust these man.
Every time, I thought for sure they were just gonna get broken up.
Spit all the way in the sink, not just like spit near the sink, so it's all over the glass.
What?
Why would he do that?
Who
That is
does
disgusting.
that? Who's just like hacking up all over the place?
It's like a barn animal.
Yeah.
Don't act like a donkey or like a camel or some.
I don't think things could be any better between Laura and I at the moment. Like the banter's there.
I don't get it.
I don't like
but
this.
okay,
I
I'm
don't
still
like that it's
I'm still
okay.
mad at Laura personally. I will let it go if I see things that allow me to let it go.
I'll be frustrated with her until she takes accountability. And I'm not saying I'm
never
gonna
gonna
completely write her
happen.
off. Well, exactly. That's why I'm mad at her.
And no one's holding her accountable. And
Yeah,
at this
that's
point,
the
it really
problem.
should be Jeremy.
Instead, he apologized.
Yeah.
He knew how to smooth it over.
To have the experience of like, how do we operate when we move into a home? Brittany got to work.
Again, I'm worried about him being disconnected.
Have no distractions. To live in the moment without having your phone.
Here's the thing about he's young, so like you and I are like on our phones
Forget
enough.
how young he is.
So he's young, and that phone attachment is going to be big. But as a principal,
school was still afloat.
Oh,
yeah,
that's part of
for
it too.
real. So it's
Yeah.
complicated.
It is complicated.
It's one of those jobs where you don't have a life because,
No.
or you don't have a separate life.
And you have to drop everything
Yeah.
when something comes up.
Like something's going on. Like there are legal issues. There's like
he's,
people's
he's
lives.
responding to emails. He has a
Yeah.
presentation on Monday.
Oh man. yeah.
Honestly, that might be part of, like, if that disconnection is even a thing that happens, it might just be he has to get back to work, so his head has to be in a different space than it's been in for this honeymoon.
I'm gonna go chill downstairs.
Okay.
I could see that being an issue for them. Like him being so busy and then burnt out when he's done with work, and then her just feeling she's not getting any time with him.
I love
Yeah, this could definitely work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You liking it?
it worked.
Is he gonna be a baby?
She was the baby there.
Oh, that's true. She was the baby.
The fact that my mom and dad were like best friends, but my dad still, you know, unfortunately, like he was still cheating, you know. Like my dad would take me with him to some of his
Oh my god,
come
dude.
on.
That's so messed up. I feel
That
really
his
bad
dad
for him.
did that?
Yeah.
all black men that's
Yep,
been in my life.
yep.
Even like celebrities, like Will Smiths, all the celebrities, like the Diddy's and stuff like that.
He's calling out some big stuff here. He's
Yeah,
like,
he is.
well, and he's addressing. He's like, I'm messed up by this sort of because of like
Yeah.
look at the world around. You know, like that sucks.
Yeah, when everyone
So he
that
has
you
this-
idolize is cheating and infidelity is a constant thing.
that like being brought along with to like meet ladies with his dad, or like knowing some of the women that his dad was cheating with, is like so many layers of like really messed
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
He said he wants to go through therapy to talk it out.
I really respect that.
Me too.
That's where I'm like, he's a messed up guy that's probably not ready to get married, and AD could probably afford to be with somebody a little bit better. You know what I mean? But like,
But it's like he wants to do that. He at least verbalizes that he wants to do
Yeah.
the work, and he understands where his insecurities and where his where all this stuff is coming from.
He's
like
first step of therapy right here. He's
Right.
ready. He's open
already
to
doing
talking
it.
He's already doing therapy.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Although
'Cause
you
he's
don't want your partner
already-
to be your therapist, but
Sure.
like he's making those moves.
And he's telling her.
That's so
Which
cool.
again, the honesty component. Because when
Yeah.
she was talking to Matt and he was so dishonest, and
To the
I
end.
believe Clay is being honest.
Yeah, I believe it. He might even be on here to get on a different show, but he's bringing up stuff that's real. You know, like again, I'm not here to say like I hope they don't stay together, because I don't think it's a good choice. Unless he like literally never does anything, he goes to therapy and he works super hard, but it's like it'll be complicated for them. You know what I mean?
I
like
actually,
I don't know.
I feel like honestly, this is probably
Oh,
a very
controversial
opinion. I actually think that they're an okay match. I do.
Yeah.
I do think that AD is further along in understanding herself and probably deserves someone that is further along
More
as
secure
well.
in that like
Yeah.
faithfulness, and is the big
Sure.
thing, and just like the maturity thing with the body
But
stuff.
The body stuff is rough, and he needs to knock it the absolute off with
But
that.
if he stopped that
Right.
And he never cheated on her and worked on his like feelings around infidelity and like faithfulness to an individual partner.
Yeah.
Do I have any other problems with him except that he
Right.
like occasionally says he's a baby? Like, I mean, literally, it might be a trauma response. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't hate
Also,
Clay.
as long as she's cool with that, you know.
There's a world where I could see them working, and that's where I was like, I think in a couple
Yeah.
episodes back, I was like, man, I kind of like, I hope it works for them. And
I
I'm
do
seeing some
too.
stuff here that like, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I was thinking you should never be in a relationship expecting to change somebody. That doesn't mean people can't change.
And if
that
it's-
doesn't mean because if they want to change, they can change.
If it's already a trajectory that they're on, like
Yeah.
he already said when he met her that he verbalized pretty clearly some places where he knows he needs to work on himself and said he's committed to working on himself and has already taken the first steps to doing that.
He's one of the more confusing people for me. We talked about how he's like super immature. And
It's
he
weird.
Is,
He's
but
both,
he's
you
both.
know? It's so
because
strange.
he's got like some like really toxic and immature perspectives, and then like the way he handled like the bean dip situation too was like really mature and like really
and some
like
of the stuff he
level.
says to her, like that conversation where he's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
all these role models in my life, I saw something that I don't know how to be different, but I don't like what I saw.
Yeah.
Is such a mature
Yeah,
perspective
dude.
to have. It is weird, honestly.
And he's bringing up the big topics to even talk
Yeah.
about.
Absolutely. And
I
he's
would honestly.
willing. I like watching people that are willing to say what their faults are. It's
Mhm.
scarier because they put it on the table, but
Mhm.
they're not hiding it.
I always appreciated that more than people that are say versus, and I know maybe they're not doing it with each other as much as they are to other people, but with Jimmy and Chelsea, and Jimmy going around saying
Yep.
it's perfect, it's perfect, it's perfect. I don't trust
Yeah,
that because
that
you're
scares
hiding
me way
it
more.
rather than bringing it out. You
Yeah,
can work on it if you bring it out. You
absolutely.
can't really work on it if you're hiding it.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah. Do you like any of these couples? Like, because honestly, it's a little tough right now.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't like
It's even
them.
like
I'm just not
Kenneth
invested.
Brittany thing, it just feels a little stiff, or I'm like seeing like that work thing maybe getting in the way. I don't know, but that's we're more curious what you think. You already heard what
Yeah.
we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm always butting in. You're like, what do you think? And then I'm like, yeah, I just heard what do you think, and I start answering it. Yeah.
You're like, this question is for me.
Well, and so I don't know. We don't have a system for it, but like in the future, we might do occasionally like taking people's comments and sharing your comments with your name on it. So I'm like the big one of the big things for me behind that is like you all shift the way I see this, and I don't want to like take your ideas and be like, my idea, or I think this now. It's like I try and give credit where it's due.
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
those like big potted episodes of like, here's a bunch of your comments that have shifted my perspective. I almost
Yeah.
want to like put it out there to be like I'm changing and this is your idea. You know what I mean? Because it is a communication back and forth.
And that's how a community, good, healthy community
Yeah.
works too.
Yeah.
Is that like you have different people's perspectives. You can't hold yourself accountable to doing everything perfectly or understanding everything perfectly the first time. Like the best way to do that is to hear other people's viewpoints and then like merge that with your own. All right, cool. Well, we will
Well.
see you for the next one.
Like, subscribe, and
Mhm.
as we said, comment if you want to.
Yes. We'd love
we
to hear what
appreciate
you think.
being here.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Then I got it knocked, and I started going.
Ridiculous.
All of those tearjerker.
Hey, we're gonna go on a cruise this summer. You should come with us.